I'm Incel and I saw Snitch. It is directed by Rick Roman Waha. How do you pronounce that? I don't know how to pronounce it, but spoiler, The Rock's in it. So if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts for seeing Jason. He's accepting a call from his friend, and his friend's like, hey, there's a package that I need you to accept, okay? And then Jason accepts the package and he gets arrested for it. And he gets sentenced 10 years for accepting this package he had no idea was in the contents. So immediately I'm just like, dude, I feel like there has to be some sort of justice. We got people doubting that he's going to be able to win this case in the court of law. But he didn't know it was in the package. He just accepted the package, and then there just turned out to be drugs. And of course, when the drug dealer he was talking to does a drug deal and gets busted, of course he's going to snitch out Jason, being like, oh, he's planning on selling me drugs. And of course, accomplices, what a bad person. You just had to really throw this guy under the bus, even though he wasn't connected to you at all before you asked him for a favor. It feels like you were trying to set this guy up, dude. But anyway, we have John, that's The Rock's character. He is the father of Jason. He's very mad. He's a businessman. And he's like, oh man, I want to infiltrate the drugs. I want to stop it. Drugs are bad, okay? This movie the entire time just felt like to me, like they were just trying to preach to me that drugs are bad, okay? Like anti-drug propaganda. And I say propaganda because it is, okay? First of all, so John's first course of action, well, one of his first course of actions, is to try to infiltrate into, just to see like if there's any more dudes that might be able to help Jason get out of jail. That sentence doesn't make sense. It's because in order for Jason to get out of jail, basically John has to be a snitch in order to get Jason out of jail successfully and just like lickety split like that. In order to get somebody else out of jail, you have to throw somebody else under the bus. And it's like, first of all, is this how the legal system works? I'm no lawyer, but this seems a little bit fishy. I feel like the universe is innocent until proven guilty. I know you literally had drugs, but you have this guy who just keeps saying over and over and over that, yeah, I didn't know what was in the package, though. I didn't know. Of course, in order to find people to snitch on, now we get to see John talking to some drug dealers. Do you have any coke? Gives him coke. John attacks his drug dealers. And of course, these drug dealers gang up on him because John was attacking one of their own. Don't do that, John. And then the police come. And it's like, all right, that's fine. But then he's arrested. The next scene is basically implies that he's out of jail. He's getting bailed out of jail. And it's like, oh, dude, first of all, maybe I blinked and missed something, but I just feel like this is too out of the way, out of the goodness, this is not good. I don't know what the words to describe it. This is not good situation that happened, the police did. So either A, we have John buys cocaine, and then John gets ganged up upon. It's not good for the drug dealers because it's bad for business. You preferably, if you're a drug dealer, you want more people to come to you, so you wouldn't want to beat up your clients. So that's bad on them. But it would make sense why he would get arrested by the police. However, 2, he's not given the drugs, and instead he attacks the drug dealers. It's bad because it's like, dude, why do you want to mess with like one person out of a group of people? That group of people can like hurt you, dude. And he's shown the pain of his ways. And he gets bailed out of jail. His wife is like, I don't want you to jail. Not exactly like that. Her performance was more fake. I definitely felt I just felt like the movie's performances just generally were lackluster, and the writing was just awful in terms of like what would actually happen if you're near some drug dealers. You want to get arrested for not having drugs on you. You only get arrested for having drugs on you, dude. You don't have to worry about getting arrested for having drugs in your system as long as you don't have any on you. Dude, just also 10 years for some the marijuana, the silly salad? Dude, that's harsh, man. Is this movie trying to tell me that drug crime is bad? Because I feel like this movie is trying to tell me that it is actually good based on the dialogue. Because I mentioned the wife. It's back to the wife. So her acting is like this during emotional scenes. I don't care that, but he's my son, and I want my son. Oh, fake tears. Fake tears. And it's like, it's so obvious, dude. I just, it's not just that one woman. I just felt like a lot of the women's acting is just so dramatic in this movie. And it's like, dude, you're taking me out of the subversion. Like, I could feel for Jason, but I'm not, because you're fake crying. It's so funny just to watch you fake cry. So of course, with the fake crying and all, we see more of John talking to more drug guys. Also, I don't like John. He's not a good person. You want to know why? Because he brings his employees. He's a boss at a job, and he asks one of his employees at this job of his, hey, do you have any connections to the cartel? Can you talk to some drug dealers for me? And of course this guy's like, no, but no never means no in these movies, because he does help, and there's trauma. I mean, there's drama. There is trauma there as well, but there is drama between him and his baby mama. And it's like, dude, stop helping this dude, okay? He's lied to you about his motivation for going through with this plan of trying to take down the entire drug cartel by himself in response to his son being locked up in jail. And it's just like, dude, come on. My goodness, can you, I don't know, maybe stop helping them after you realize what he's doing this all for? He's like, oh, we're all dead men. And of course, he's going to smuggle money across Mexico and in a semi-truck. And there's a lot of bang, bang, bang. There's a lot of gun shoots. Also, I feel like this movie is like gun propaganda, because it's like drugs and guns equal violence. Violence. And it's like, no. Have you ever shot guns on drugs? I haven't, but I heard it's very fun. Okay, it's like the only way to shoot guns. It's the only recommended way, actually. So I don't agree with the facts that there's just so many pew 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 pew. Actually, I do agree with how many guns there are. I don't agree with how casually they're just pulled out. I mean, I understand this is a crime movie. Some criminals have guns. That's fine by me. With so many, and there's so many just like pointing at each other for no reason other than like, oh, I don't trust you, so I'm gonna pull a gun up to you. But like, if you pull a gun to somebody's face, you gotta be dedicated sure that you're gonna murder, death, kill them if you point the gun at them at all. So every time that we see somebody pointing a gun at somebody in the movie, they're dedicated to murder. I'm not a big fan. Of course, we have Jason gets out because the drug cartel has now been arrested. So let me get this straight. So we have John infiltrates at the lowest level to the highest level to infiltrate the drug cartels and bring them down. The ones in Mexico, which is an entire country's worth of cartel, That's so many. That's an entire economy just gone. Bye-bye economy. But of course, Jason is released and they're all together. And that's how the movie ends. Man, I felt several times me just sighing at this movie like, oh my goodness, this is just straight up propaganda for anti-drug movement. I'm like, who paid this person? I know this is the 2010s big anti-drug craze going on here, especially for pot. This is 2010, so it's not legalized everywhere. I mentioned the male actors as well because a lot of the performances were pretty, not stiff, but definitely less expressionful. Like in this situation where I see a guy who moved away to a specific area to avoid the group of friends that he ended up being around, these drug guys. He gets involved with them, and he's, this is a bad situation. Those dogs definitely agree with me. The dogs barking at this guy just being like, kind of monotone for the fact that his life is being ruined. Like, I know he's got the look of like, deep contemplation, thought, but a lot of the other actors, not very expressionful. This movie's The Rock performance, it was fine. I honestly just think this movie is written really stupidly, and it's definitely somebody paid for this movie to be made and thrown in theaters everywhere or something and shown to people and be like, this is what happens when drugs occur. And like the end of the movie, it's like, well, drug offenses cover up half of jail time versus the other half really worse offenses. I'm like, I don't know, don't jail people up just doing drugs. I don't know, jail people up for doing crime, criminal, dangerous, bad people stuff, like bad stuff. I know that's incredibly subjective, but there's few things that are very subjective in this world for being bad, and that's murder, death, kill. So, I didn't like the story. I sighed a lot at it. Again, I keep mentioning that because, oh my goodness, this movie was a bore. Not so much a bore as it is just like an erg. So, I gotta give this movie 3.9 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer, so if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review request at patreon.com/ASCpresents. $20 a month for one movie review for 1 month, $3 a month for how to draw Pokemon tutorials, plus 250 vlogs that are up there right now, all at patreon.com/ASCpresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, go to this link tree. My Fansly is free to follow. It really helps the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, I've been Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.